We have a lot of testing metrics that we do at Tranmere Rovers. Not only do we do testing on the pitch with things like GPS, which gives us metrics of how far, how fast, how frequent. We then have other load monitoring tools like the jump mat, the watt pipe, which gauges power, development of power, rate of force development. But then we also have things like that we call anthropological. So we have to look at body mass, skin folds, body composition, things like that. So basically what we're trying to do is get the lads to be as efficient as they possibly can to cope with the demands for exercising. So basically the leaner and the more muscle mass we can have makes them a bit more robust and available to cope with training demands and gym demands that are quite strenuous at Tranmere. So we work with a company called Applied Nutrition. We work with them for quite a while now. The guys over there offer us a great deal of support. So they help with the products that we take, but they also help with a few other things. So we have a close working relationship with 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗧. We have our head nutritionist, Aaron, who's fantastic at his job. So we're looking to provide the fuel source and the supplementation, and the key word is supplement, what we can't give them in terms of dietary requirements. So we have quite a robust profile that we want as a Tranmere player, and part of that is doing recovery, and then part of that is developing athletic power. And the things that you might see the lads take can either enhance performance or aid in the recovery. So both sides of that, we work closely with Applied Nutrition. So things like your protein, your whey isolates, the gels that you sometimes see me on the sideline chucking on. We have caffeine gels, and we then also have carbohydrate gels. And on top of that, we then have carbohydrate drinks. There's quite a big spectrum of things that we can provide for the lads. Working within our fantastic nutrition department under the medical of the sports medicine team, we try and bespoke it as well as we possibly can to not only cater with the demands of the fixture congestion, whether it's a day game, a nighttime game, but also tailor a bit more to the demands of the player, because every positional demand comes a little bit different. So the working relationship we have with Applied allow us to basically get all areas covered. So obviously our working week is preparing for the test, and the test is on a Saturday. Now we try and reverse engineer what the physical requirements are. So that's our side. Our side is to make sure they can cope with the demands at any time that are placed upon the player. So we'll look at what the exertion is in terms of GPS, KPIs, other key metrics that we look at, not only for the player but the position, and there's other things that can affect this, but the main thing is that is what we want them to try and achieve really well. So your hardest working day should always be the match day, because it's the longest period of time you'll be on the grass, 90 minutes. We're actually finding bigger metrics being hit because we're getting extensive extra time in the first half and second half. So, we're seeing the lads now go from an average of 10.8, 11, 11.2, they're now bumping up and touching 12.4, nearly 13K. So that is your highest metabolic demand on a match day, and so it should be. Now, it's a test that is ultimately, you're graded on the scoreline. However, the body won't see it that way. Your body will just see it as, right, this is vigorous exercise that we have to really cope with, putting the body under great amounts of stress. So your match day stresses are a lot higher than your training day stresses, but what we do in the training week is overload things in a smaller condensed period. So you'll see more intensive games, you'll see larger sided areas, things that make it a little bit harder in a smaller block of time to make that adaptation count for Saturday. And then on top of that, we work very hard in the gym to give the muscles the capacity to cope with those demands. So if they can't cope with the demand, they'll overwork, and if they overwork, they break down. So that's ultimately our key philosophy, is to work and be very robust in the gym, and that allows us to train really tough. So our supplementation changes day by day. So Monday tends to be a recovery day, so our things will be a bit more carb heavy, even with the food. But then our Applied Nutrition order and supplements that we give the lads mirror up with the nutritional demands as well. Tuesday tends to be more of a hard working day, as with Thursday. So again, that then changes. So we'll change some of the protein shakes that we'll have. We'll change some of the recovery stuff that they have. And then Thursday is more of a power day. So we'll make sure we've got certain pills or certain things that cope with the demands for heavy lifting, repeated sprints that are outside. And then Friday's a match prep day. So it's focusing solely on repairing the muscles, making them feel as fresh as they can going into a Saturday game when you should feel like your absolute best. And Applied Nutrition allow that. You know, we have an amino hydrate, which allows them for great recovery. They have one of them every day, also keeps the hydration level topped up. Again, another fantastic informed sport product, and they allow us to really cover all bases for the lads, which we're very fortunate that, particularly in our division, in our league, we can provide that support.